Good afternoon. My name is Brianna Nelson. Today my informative speech is going to be on Hurricane Hugo. My two academic resources are the National Weather Service on Hurricane Hugo in 2014, and the other one's going to be South Carolina Forest Land Research and Management related to the storm, Tree Search U.S. Forest Service in 1996. From June till November each year is called hurricane season. When storms form out in the ocean from the warmth of the water, they can turn into a tropical depression and then sometimes make it into a tropical storm. Once they get to a certain wind speed, they're called hurricanes. Some storms form and stay out in the ocean and disappear. Other storms gain strength and become hurricanes and do nothing, while others take direct paths into places and cause severe damage. The strength, size, and formation determine what becomes of a storm. How the eye forms and looks and the pressure tells you a lot about the strength and what it's going to turn into. Hurricane Hugo devastated the coastline of South and North Carolina, but it wasn't just coastlines, it affected inland counties too. On September 9, 1989, a tropical storm formed off the coast of Africa. As it crossed warm waters of the Atlantic, it picked up speed and strength and became a Category 5 on September 15th. It targeted the Leeward Islands and downgraded to a Category 4 hurricane on September 17th at approximately 140 miles per hour. Hugo raced toward the Carolina coast and laid on September 21st at the winds of 140 miles per hour. It made landfall on September 22nd near midnight around Sullivan's Island, South Carolina. Winds were clocked in Charleston as high as 108 miles per hour. Nighttime storms are the worst because it's dark and you can't see what's going on. When hurricanes make landfall, it isn't always the wind to be worried about, but the flooding and the storm surge also. Damage was caused to both North and South Carolina. The cause of damage wasn't just from the high force of winds, but also from the 20-foot storm surge at the coast. Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, which was considered ground zero for Hugo's landfall, sustained heavy wind damage to structures and trees. There was so much debris that the roads were impassable and many fishing boats were sunk. The bridge across Adwin near Mount Pleasant was destroyed. Murrells Inlet had a large diesel fuel spill and the marina was destroyed. It was said that a lot of damage was due to old roofs, structures not up to code, and places not being built to withstand winds that strong. Hugo did more than just damage the coast. In North Carolina, it was estimated that 4.5 million acres were damaged. In South Carolina, it was estimated that timber that was destroyed or damaged was estimated at 21 billion board feet. With the timber being damaged, this was also affected wildlife. Red cockaded woodpeckers, bald eagles, red wolves, and that are on the endangered species list were impacted. In the Francis Marion Forest in South Carolina, trees were sheared off 10 to 25 feet above the ground. In a 250,000-acre forest, nearly 3/4 of the trees were damaged or destroyed. Hugo also destroyed many crops that had not been picked yet. Some of those include cotton, tobacco, corn, and sugarcane. When these crops were affected, this also affected the textile industry, the food industry, and the agricultural industry. In conclusion, Hurricane Hugo was one of the strongest storms that hit the South Carolina coast. Not only did it damage dunes, houses, forests, and wildlife, its damages went on. Roads and bridges were washed out, causing people to be trapped where they were. Power and telephone poles were blown out due to no electricity, power, or phone service for weeks. This hurricane affected the Leeward Islands and all the way into where the effects were felt in Charlotte, North Carolina. It was a storm that will be talked about for generations and many to come. It was one for the record books. Hurricanes greatly affected people's lives, not just their homes and properties, but their businesses and jobs also. This storm was one of the most studied and the best documented in reports, so its data can be studied for years. Thank you.